Okay, hey y'all, so I'm here. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season, I don't know, episode 19. So, we left off where we pick up where we left off last week. So remember last week there was, the girls went to a club, Kathy Hilton acted like a damn fool, Lisa Rinna left with her, and then we see pretty much Lisa Rinna and Erica texting back and forth. So the first thing that we see pretty much is everybody getting ready to leave Aspen. And Rinna is pretty much in her confessional talking about, how much it just shook her up the night before, everything that happened with Kathy. And, Kyle pretty much says like that she's shooken up because she saw everything that Rinna was texting Erica pretty much as it happened. And so before I keep going, I would like to say that this is a really hard situation because I've told y'all before, Lisa Rinna is nobody's friend and she's friends with people out of convenience. Lisa Rinna is also a liar. And she's an actress too, a soap opera actress is that. So this situation has put me in a tough cookie because I don't believe shit that Rinna says. However, if you think that I put it past not even a rich, a wealthy white woman, because there's a difference between rich and wealthy, a wealthy white woman like Kathy Hilton to throw a tantrum, you got another thing fucking coming. So we get to the plane or whatever, and while they're on a plane, Kathy didn't leave with the girls, like Kyle goes downstairs to see what Kathy's doing, to see if she's gonna come. She go down there, all of the lights is cut off. So Kyle is like, regardless of what happened, it's just gonna end up being my fault anyway. And Kyle, been there, sis, been there. So everybody goes and get on the plane with Finance Mauricio and stuff, and during that, while they're on the plane, at some point in time, Erica pretty much apologizes to Sutton and apologizes to everybody else for pretty much how she acted and said, she was just super defensive and she was just really, really, really mad. So then we pretty much get on to what happened with Kathy the night before. So this is all of the different girls' perspectives. So when they get to the actual club, right, Sutton said that Kathy was asking everybody to do a Congo line, right? And I'm going to talk about some other stuff when it comes to Kathy in a second too, when I talk about this part. So like I said, Sutton said that Kathy had came over to everybody asking if they wanted to do the Congo line. And Sutton said she in particular did not want to do it. So then Kathy got really upset and started yelling at her. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so tired. Pretty much started yelling at Sutton about it. Crystal says that she didn't really see everything that happened. She do know that there was a commotion, but she didn't really get to see everything that happened. Diana said that she did see Kathy pretty much snapping out and specifically like yelling at Kyle and in Kyle's face. So Kyle said that from her point of view, this is everybody's point of view, Kyle said that pretty much what happened was that Kathy had came over to her because I guess she didn't see the initial situation. So Kathy had came over to her and was pretty much yelling at her and snapping and being like, I'm ready to leave and I want to go home now. And Kyle was like, well, I don't even know what just happened. And like, I'm not trying to go home. Like, I don't want to leave. So at this point in time, I guess Rinna was like, don't worry. Like, I'll take her home. I'll go home with her. So then they get into the Sprinter. Now, before we talk about what Rinna said happened in the Sprinter, I do want to say that with this part of the story, obviously, I absolutely believe that happened because there's more than enough people to corroborate the story. And also, if you go on Kathy Hilton's, well, you probably won't be able to see it now because her story might be over. But if you go on Kathy Hilton's Instagram, on her stories, first of all, she's shaking the fuck out of Rinna, bitch. But second of all, a lot of the stuff that Kathy is reposting is stuff about people saying like they should have just joined the Congo line. They should have just joined the Congo line. Girl, if it was me, I would have joined you on the Congo line. So to me, that is confirming that story is true. Even though I already believed it because it was more than enough people there to cooperate. But that shows me that story is true. That you was mad because bitches didn't want to get in a Congo line with you, so you threw a tantrum. The same way how the day before, when Lisa Rinna, in that situation, I stand on the fact that I don't think it was a shady thing, that when Rinna didn't ask for your tequila in particular first, you got upset, you threw a tantrum, and you left the store and had an attitude about it. So, yeah. So that part is pretty much damn near confirmed. The part that's in contention is everything else that happened. So, Rinna says, like I said, that they was pretty much on their way home. Now, in the Sprinter, Kathy Hilton was pretty much really going the hell off, saying that, she's going to take down the show. She's going to take down NBC and the network, and how everybody was going to pay. And then once they got to the house, pretty much that Kathy was like throwing stuff. She threw her glasses on the floor. She jumped up and down. She was pounding on windows and freaking walls and shit, and pretty much saying that she made Kyle, and that she was going to destroy Kyle and her family. Now, while all of this was going on, allegedly, Rinna was texting Erica, quote unquote, a play-by-play while all of this was going on, right? And then Kyle said she was just kind of glancing down. Now, I think that story right there is bullshit. I do think that Lisa was texting Erica, but I think Erica was probably right next to Kyle and was telling and showing Kyle all of the stuff that was being said. Now, there's a lot of different questions and, hoopla surrounded, is Lisa Rinna lying? Now, I don't know. Now, do I believe that she is dragging this shit? Absolutely, absolutely. Regardless of what happened, let's just say that I do believe that Kathy Hilton did act a fool at the house. Do I think that Rinna is dragging it? Absolutely. Because guess what? She doesn't have a storyline. I keep telling y'all, Rinna does not have a storyline. So I feel like, similar to Dorit, you know how this is how I look at it, actually, now I think about it. This is exactly what it is. Similar to Dorit, I think that something can be true, right? And people use that truth to drag it out and make it a bigger deal. So, like with Dorit, do I believe that Dorit was actually robbed? Yes. But do I think that she used that situation to create a storyline for her on this show because she didn't really have much going on? Yes, same way. Do I think that when Kathy Hilton got to the house, she probably was still really upset and maybe yelling and screaming? I actually do believe that. But do I believe that Lisa Rinna is exaggerating that situation so that she can have a fucking storyline? Yes, absolutely. So a lot of people, one of the main things people are saying is that they don't believe, Lisa Rinna is a liar. So I'm not mad at anybody who don't believe her because she's a liar. So that's just that on that, right? But secondly, a lot of people feel like, so you're trying to tell me all of that happened, but there was no mics, there was no cameras, there was no nothing. Well, this is how I feel about it. I feel that there's two reasons that could be the case. Number one, it could just be the case that they really did maybe unmic them, because remember, not all of the girls went to the club that night. If you remember, I think maybe Garcelle had stayed in the car and maybe Cherie, but not everybody went to the club that night. That's number one. Number two, I also feel like if Bravo had that footage, they would absolutely run it. So what I'm saying is that no, that's not true. That's not true, because that's actually canceling out my second point. I think it's very possible that the girls wasn't mic'd up and there was nothing like really going on at the time. Because if I remember correctly, the Sprinter, like I said, Garcelle stayed in that original Sprinter and that Sprinter left. So it's very possible that another Sprinter came later that night to come and pick them up. So that's very possible. However, what I will say though is, what is a possible, and this is allegedly, because I'm not trying to get sued. Allegedly. We all know who Kathy Hilton is, how much money she got, kind of like Dorit is going to touch on in a little bit. I can absolutely see Kathy Hilton pulling enough strings to be like, whatever y'all do got, y'all not about to air that shit. And that's just on everything I love. I don't give a fuck what y'all got. I don't care what I said. All of that shit that y'all have of me in the Sprinter, whatever y'all got of me at a house, y'all not using that shit. And that's just on period. I could absolutely see her pulling those strings too. So that's pretty much the big contention about everything that's going on pretty much. So this is the part that killed me though, right? Rinna in her confessional says, I think what it is that I think the reason why all of this happened is because Kathy is just really mad at Kyle. Kyle is more famous and more successful than Kathy has ever been. And I think she's still mad about the agency, which is that thing that happened a couple years ago. And then the movie, the movie that Kyle had made years ago too, about the family, and pretty much in general that Kyle has more than Kathy. Okay, girl, by large, for me to defend these white women with all this money, however, the only way first of all, what's just not true out of all of that is that Kyle is more famous than Kathy. That's just a blatant lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell. That is not true. Most people have known who Kathy Hilton was since probably the 90s. I've known Kathy Hilton's name, her family, mostly due to Paris. Shout out to you, bitch. But I've definitely known who Kathy Hilton was way before I ever heard of Kyle Richards. I didn't even hear of Kyle Richards until I started watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So the famous part, bullshit. Now, if you want to talk about rich, right? Now, Kathy Hilton is absolutely worth way more than Kyle is. Now, if you're saying that she's more rich than her in the sense of like Kyle's own money, like her money not being connected to Mauricio's, then maybe, because I personally don't know what Kathy has done outside of, like her being married to her husband and her having her wealth through their, hotels and stuff like that and other stuff. So if you mean in that sense, okay, maybe. And if you're saying that she's mad because Kyle is more successful than her, if you mean in her own individual career because Kyle has acted and maybe Kathy has not, then I guess. But I don't really think Kathy is jealous of Kyle. I don't. I feel in my heart of hearts she is not. Maybe she is. But for those reasons, that's just a lie from the pits of hell. Kyle Richards is more famous than Kathy Hilton. That's just a lie. That's just a lie. That's just a lie, and you just made that up just to have some shit to say, right? So then it is time for I'm sorry. So all of that happens, and then on the plane, Crystal pretty much tells everyone how her 39th birthday is coming up, and she wants to do a Great Gatsby themed birthday party. Cool. So Cal is not going to go because she has to go film Halloween 15, Lord knows, have Michael Myers try to kill her for the 30th time. And she also has not spoken to Kathy because remember, Kathy didn't ride back with them. And I think Mauricio said when he got to the house before he got to the plane, he didn't see her. So then Erica and Dorit go to like this chocolate shop. Baby, when I'm telling you, and I got this in all like long capital letters, I loved the Dorit outfit. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Her outfit was so very much so basic but pulled together, tight, stacked. My bitch is coming back. She's coming back and I'm here for it, right? So they end up going to do some chocolate and stuff. So Dorit, the only major thing that happened there is Dorit had brought up to Erica, like, did you see like what Garcelle had said on a reel? And it kind of showed, Garcelle pretty much saying like, like if it was me, I would have gave the earrings back, pretty much what she said. And Erica was like, well, I pretty much feel the type of way because why didn't you tell me that? Now, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So then Dorit also brings up how Kyle was so mad at her, when, that the day after everything had happened in Aspen, and how she felt like she was taking Erica's side, and not Erica's side, but she was like, I felt like she thought just because I had went to go and check on you that she felt like I agreed with everything that you had said, and that was not the case. I was just saying that I wanted to make sure that you was okay, which is what I said in my review too. And so Erica is annoyed, and she was like, so this is my thing. So if Kyle really feels so threatened by my behavior, hold on, sorry. Oh yeah, she was like, if she's so upset about my behavior, we're gonna talk about everybody's behavior pretty much. Like, you can't just sit up here and only talk about just my shit and the rest of y'all got a lot of stuff going on. Because in her confessional, she's like, let me say this right here. Pretty much what she said is, bitch, I let y'all for the last 2 seasons pretty much really come for me. But what we're not gonna do is pretty much, like she said, sweep under the rug all of the stuff that the rest of y'all be doing and only put it on me. And what Erica said at the end of this episode is what I said last week, which is this. Everybody is gonna have their day. like I said, this last season and this season, it might be a little bit of Erica, and Erica has to sit in a hot seat or whatever the case may be. But if all of y'all think that at some point in time, it's not going to be y'all turn, you're sadly mistaken. And also, I didn't like the fact that all of y'all was pretty much sitting around acting like she said, that y'all shit don't stink, that y'all money probably don't come from a funny place. Like let's not do that. Let's not get on a moral high ground. That's pretty much all I was saying. So she was just like, you know, if we're gonna talk about behavior, like, let's talk about behavior. And so Dorit in her confessional, because she was like, if you have something to say, why don't you just say it? Well, she was pretty much talking about Kathy, but even though she didn't say her name. And Dorit in her confessional was like, listen, like, you don't want to go toe to toe with Kathy. Like, everybody knows that Kathy has been in this town forever. She's a very wealthy woman. She's a very powerful woman. So I don't think you really want to mess with them. And not having all capital letters, Kathy's daughter is a Rothschild. Nikki Hilton is married to a Rothschild. Y'all take that information and y'all do what y'all want with it. That's all I'm going to say. But I do understand what Dorit saying. Like, girl, if you gonna play with the big dogs, girl, you better be ready to play, because they play on a completely different level than you would ever really know, girl. But I also feel like what Erica is saying, like, just because, see, that's the problem. People like that who have all this money, you think that just because, you know, you have all this money and these connections that you can pretty much just get away with murder. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, and nobody's supposed to talk about your stuff. And that's why I said, go back in my reviews, and I said, if you really pay attention in general, Kathy hasn't really said much about Erica's situation. Do you want to know why? Because I think that Kathy understands, bitch, when you have a certain amount of money, certain things are going to happen. And I know for a fact over here, if y'all was to really go into our shit, ain't the cleanest. Girl, we seen Paris Hilton documentary, and that ain't even about the money part. So if y'all could do that, if y'all could allow people in the middle of the night to drag your teenage daughter out of her bed, kicking and screaming, and not give her no clue as to where she at or where she going, you think I think you won't do something shady when it comes to your money? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that was kind of that. So they talked about that. Then we have Garcelle and Cherie. Cherie comes over to Garcelle's house before the party, and I was dead. I was like, Cherie is such a black ass person. This girl saw the damn card that Garcelle got and hurried up and signed her name. I said, baby, if that ain't some black ass shit, why do we always wait till the last minute to get a gift, or we throw our names on shit? That's some real black. The audience didn't deserve that black ass moment. They don't need to know our business. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. Garcelle, I really liked her outfit. She was giving me very much so. She said Josephine Baker, but she was giving me more like Al Capone. Sorry, that's what she was giving me. With the suspenders and the hat, that's what she was giving me. And Cherie looked cool. You know, she fit the theme. Now let me say something about Cherie. So far, she ain't really been giving me much as a housewife. Like, I feel like she needs to step it up a little bit more, talk a little bit more, engage a little bit more, do a little bit more. But on some parts, I'm with her. They talk about, Garcelle and Cherie talk about the whole thing with Erica and her earrings. And she was like, yeah, you know, I did say something on a reel and that just aired. And so Cherie was like, well, are you going to tell her? She was like, no, because I filmed before Aspen and all of that stuff had happened. So, she said, well, what was the consensus on the show? And Garcelle was like, I mean, I said I would give the earrings back. Now, Cherie was like, you know, the whole time we was on the Aspen trip, I'm sitting there looking like, are those the earrings? Are those the earrings? And so they doing like little flashbacks showing the earrings. She was like, but if I'm going to be real, I don't know if I would just willingly give the earrings up. And Garcelle was like, no, don't do that. She was like, I'm serious. She's like, she's like, you think I would just be like, oh, here, have them? No. Oh, no. And I was like, thank you so much for being a real bitch about it. Because all of these bitches want to posture and act like they on some damn high moral ground. But they know for a fact if it was them, they would handle it the exact same way that she is. Which is, bitch, if you want these earrings, you're going to have to come get them. But if you think, like she said, that I'm just going to willingly be like, oh yeah, here, take them. That's not realistic. And I appreciate Cherie for keeping it real on that. Thank you so much for being somebody that kept it real and not trying to fucking posture just the fucking posture. So annoying. So then we get to the party. Dorit was cute. Crystal, I loved her outfit. Diana looked really, ooh, that bitch pissed me off. Because, like, why you gotta be such a trash ass bitch? Because you could have really carried for me otherwise. But Diana looked really good to me with her little boy toy of a boyfriend. Sutton, you know, I don't ever really care for how she dressed. Erica looked like the queen of the damn to me. Somebody said she looked like Maleficent. Facts. Lisa. So again, so she's in the confessional. Rinna's talking about I'm just really still so shaken up by everything that happened with Kathy. Like, I have PTSD. That's what I have. And I'm just like, although I agreed with Erica going off and stuff like that for the most part, the way she did, like the other day, did you not have PTSD from that? And as everybody is wonderfully pulling up all of the Bean footage on Twitter, like, so were you not having PTSD when you snapped on Kim like that at that dinner? Did you not have PTSD all of the times that Kyle has pretty much snapped the hell out? Like that one time when y'all was at dinner and Kyle pretty much snapped the hell out on everybody, including Dorit. Like, was that not PTSD? Girl, you're dragging because you don't have a storyline. You're dragging, girl. Like I said, do I believe that Kathy was acting a fool? Probably. Oh yeah, I didn't even say that. Or maybe I did. I think I did say, yeah, I don't put it past no rich white woman to sit up there and act the fool. Do you see how regular, not rich, but do you see how regular white women act when they are told no or don't get their way? Do you see how they act? So could you imagine telling a freaking 100th millionaire no to something when 9 times out of 10 Kathy is probably very much so to having yes people around her, very much so, yeah, sure. That does not surprise me. Like I said, the same way that she pretty much acted a fool when Rinna didn't want to do her damn tequila and then turned around and got mad because she felt like Kyle didn't stick up for her. And also, this is something else too that people keep saying, like, oh, Kyle is being a bad sister. Kyle should have left for her. No, Kyle shouldn't, because I'm going to tell you something right now. I have sisters, okay? I have a couple of sisters. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Sister or not, some of y'all be taking that blood and family shit way too far. Let me tell you something. Just because you are my sister or my family, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit up here and condone all of the bullshit that you do. First of all, we have obviously just seen that when Kathy has an attitude or wants to throw a tantrum, to me, she now expects Kyle to take on her same anger, her same vigor, and pretty much cater to her. So it's, bitch, she didn't drink, Lisa didn't drink my alcohol. I'm mad now. So now, Kyle, you have to end your night. Because I'm upset and I'm mad, you can no longer have fun. How does that work? No, I'm not about to sit up here. And so in that situation, especially when Kyle's like, I didn't even see what happened. Now, if it was me, I would have probably stepped outside with my sister and be like, all right, talk to me, what's going on, or whatever the case may be. And I would have tried to figure out what's going on. But knowing Kathy, if you just bum rush me and was like, I'm not happy, I want to go home, I'm so sick of this shit. And if I'm trying to talk to you and trying to figure it out and you don't want to tell me, you just like, we're leaving now. But you're not my mom, but you're not supposed to tell me where sister or not, you don't come into nobody's face and tell them what they are and what they're not going to do. Kathy is a grown-ass woman at the end of the day. If you want to leave, you can leave. Now, like I said, I would have had a conversation with my sister outside to figure out why she was so upset. But at the end of the day, if I would have found out that that's what it was, girl, you can go home. Because I'm not about to leave because you mad because somebody told you no. Girl, bye. So, yes, I can absolutely see a white woman throwing a damn temper tantrum because she was told no. Can you imagine how many yes people Kathy Hilton probably has around her on an everyday basis? Fuck out of here. Like I said, but Lisa Rinna is still a liar. So do I believe she did all of that extra stuff? No, I do not, because I think Lisa Rinna is a liar and doesn't have shit else to do. I'm almost done, y'all. So then let's see. So I was really surprised that Kathy even showed up to the party. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, whoa, I'm very surprised she showed up. So, but she did show up. Erica and Sutton are talking, and Erica's talking about, how, she's seen her old house and how it's time for her to let that go. Then Crystal goes to go blah about her candles and talks about how she's 39. It's her last year in her 30s, and all of the old hoes is like, girl, you old, you young as fuck. Shut the hell up. Then the RHOBH says something to Garcelle about the show, like very quietly, like, you know, like, did you say anything to Erica yet? And she was like, no, because we haven't really saw each other. She was like, oh, you know, like, I think that you should you should say something. And so in the midst of that, I guess Crystal realizes that Rinna is like gone. So she goes, catches Rinna at the door, and she's like, you know, like, is everything okay? And Rinna's like, I'm just gonna leave because I feel so uncomfortable because of everything that happened in Aspen. And Crystal is literally the rest of us. Bitch, was it really that serious? Was it really that real? And she's like, yes, it was, girl. So go sit your overacting ass down. I'm so tired of it. So she ends up leaving. And she ends up saying, I think she said in her confession, she was like, I've seen the devil and it's Kathy Hilton. I said, oh, bitch, you are dragging now. You're dragging for sure. So, apparently I missed this part, and it might have been because I fast forwarded between the commercials, but apparently Erica and Garcelle did have a conversation about the whole thing, and Erica said, I mean, you know, you could have told me, and Garcelle was like, oh, okay, well, my bad. This is how I feel about that whole thing. This is all I want to say about that. I think, like I said, I love Garcelle down, but I don't really know where Garcelle doesn't like Erica, but at the same time, for some reason, feels like she should know all of this stuff about her case, and she should have so much of an opinion on what is going on with Erica. Like I said, I stand by what I said. How was it that 2 episodes ago you sat there and you said to the girl, I don't want to be friends with you? She said okay, but then in the very next episode, you're sitting next to her and asking her personal business and personal questions about her cases that's going on. If you're not friends with her, why do you feel comfortable enough to have that conversation with her? You obviously feel like you're trying to do something with the daggone girl. So then for you to then go on your show and say, oh, well, I don't really have to tell her. Now, in all reality, no, you don't have to tell her if you're not really friends with her, but you seem to not know what side of a fence you want to stand on. Do you want to befriend her, or do you want to just be in her business? Because that's what it's coming off as, girl. Anyway. So, in between, Erica and Diana end up calling Rinna. Rinna didn't pick up. Erica goes on to talk about everything that happened again. And Erica pretty much says, like what I said earlier, which is like, everybody wants to chastise her, but it's swept under the rug when it comes to Kathy Hilton. And Diana was like, I just think that Rinna's being a chicken about it, honestly. Then everybody leaves, and then the RHOBH comes in, and they just talk about pretty much what happened all over again. And Erica says in her confessional, like, I really ain't got shit to lose, and at the end of the day, everybody has to have their damn date. And that's what I've been saying before, which is all of y'all bitches can talk all that shit, but everybody gonna have to sit in the seat next to Andy eventually. It's gonna have to happen. Like I said, I think Lisa Rinna is a liar. But I also believe that Kathy Hilton acted a damn monkey fool. Now I'm very interested in next week's episode, to see where we go and how that goes. Was there anything else I wanted to say? Let me see. Erica said they're gonna have their damn day. Oh yeah. I think partially why Lisa Rinna is being careful with not saying everything that Kathy Hilton said is because she is Kathy Hilton. So I think she wants to expose her, but she knows not to go but so far, because Kathy Hilton is Kathy Hilton. So yeah, y'all take what y'all want to take with that. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm in the comments. Get in the comments. I'm out. Bye.